Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk. It's brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Belly Up Sports Network. We have a very special guest today, but before we get to him, let me get to my main man, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, dude? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And today we're going to talk to a special guest, my man, Joe Bagram, aka Sheriff Showbags from Rams Showcase. We're going to talk about what's going on over there at Rams camp and one Matthew Stafford making an interesting statement. Let's get this thing started
right now.
Let go.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby.
Hey, welcome back to the show, people. Now we have a special guest, my man, Joe Branham, a.k.a. Sheriff Joe Bags. He's the host of Rams Showcase, and he's a definitely lifelong Rams fan. And he knows all about L.A., and he's been riding and dying with those guys for years. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing amazing, man. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Okay, here's the big thing that came out of Rams camp this week. Matthew Stafford made a statement that kind of shook up the Lions fan base. He said that he let the Lions organization down by not bringing them a championship. And how did the Rams fans kind of react to him saying that?
You know what? That news didn't necessarily break into the Rams media too much. That wasn't something that was a big conversation this week. I had actually heard that comment was made from you, Curt, in a text message. So
wow.
It wasn't necessarily something that was super big news. But as a Rams fan, I can tell you that for me, it's an exciting thing that he says that. It's unfortunate that he feels like he let that franchise down, but if he was in that situation with the Detroit Lions and he feels like he let that organization down, then I feel good about what he brings to the Rams team and that like his attitude for what he will want to accomplish while he's here. So is as bad as it is to hear that on the Lions side, it's an exciting thing for a Rams fan to hear, just knowing that he's going to give it his all when he is on that field. And that's an exciting thing.
Hey, what are your thoughts on how Stafford's done this offseason and what you've got to see of him and all that other stuff? What do you think about him as a quarterback being there in LA?
Definitely a difference from Jared Goff. It seems like Jared Goff, which is now your guys' quarterback, it seems like he kind of needs things to be perfect in a sense. And Matthew Stafford so far, even just through training camp, what we've seen is that he's willing to adjust on the fly and make those changes mid-play. So it's been an exciting time as a Rams fan bringing in Matthew Stafford for sure.
Definitely. All right, now here's a thing I want to get your perspective on. You had a lot of changes to your personnel office, coaches, players, and a lot of ipso facto defections from LA to Detroit. Yeah, a lot of people move from LA to Detroit, Rams to Lions. Who do you think has the biggest impact of who left to go across country to come to Detroit?
You know what? I am a big Aubrey Pleasant fan. I don't think that's any secret if you watch my show, Rams Showcase, that I am a big Aubrey Pleasant fan. I was kind of anticipating that once Brandon Staley got hired by the Chargers, I really felt like Pleasant was a guy that was going to get promoted to defensive coordinator. Of course, the Rams brought in Raheem Morris and Aubrey Pleasant left, but yeah, I think he's such a great coach, and a difference will be noticed with his presence immediately, I think.
Yeah, I think Jim and I, we have our feelings about Aubrey Pleasant and what he's already doing for our secondary. I mean, it's one of those things where he's teaching and molding, and even our head coach Dan Campbell has spoke, very highly of him and how he's changed the outlook of the young secondary. You look at Jeff Okudah and you look at Tracy Walker and just the improvements those guys have had to their game in a short amount of time working with Aubrey Pleasant. Now we did have one person that came over from the line came over from the Rams. She was part of the organization a while ago. I don't know if you know who she is, but she was a intern and now she's our social media reporter, the DetroitLions.com reporter. Danny Rogers, came over from the Rams as well. So we got a plethora of personnel from the Rams. You know, you look at of course, our GM, Brad Holmes, and Ray Agnew, director of player personnel. Now he's the assistant general manager here in Detroit. And then you definitely have Aubrey Pleasant and Michael Brockers and Jared Goff. Is there, besides Aubrey Pleasant, is there any guy that you think or person that is going to really affect what happens with the LA Rams this season?
As far as their departure?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be Brad Holmes. I mean, he was with the Rams since 2001. So he saw a lot of different Rams teams. He saw the Rams at their best. In my opinion, one of the best Rams teams of the greatest show on turf is the team that lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots. And then he saw the downfall of that, and then he saw the rise back up. So, yeah, I think that presence will definitely be felt. He's incredible at the scouting, and so his presence I don't think will necessarily be felt for the Lions for a couple of years while he brings in new talent. But I think his presence will be felt, his absence will be felt from the Rams almost immediately, just because of what he was able to do in that front office.
Right.
I got one more for you. What do you think, and what is your opinion on the player Michael Brockers, and what does he bring to Detroit?
For the Rams specifically, because he was paired up with Aaron Donald, he was kind of tasked with just eating up blocks, and he wouldn't necessarily light up a stat sheet, but his presence was absolutely felt on that defensive line. And part of it was, Aaron Donald does take on some double and triple teams, but Brockers, and the way that he was able to play, was able to kind of just position himself in a way where he would allow for, single blocks for other people. Maybe it was Aaron Donald on a play that he would be able to, take away the center from moving over to take on Aaron Donald. So he would get a one-on-one, or, just sucking up those two blocks so that somebody like Leonard Floyd could be one-on-one. So that was definitely what he brought. But I mean, he's more than that. He's more than just a block eater. And I think that for the Rams in the roster that we had, that was kind of what his task was. And he filled that role really nicely. But before Aaron Donald was here, we saw him performing, and he was the one getting to the quarterback. So, he's another player. I mean, we're definitely going to miss him. We're going to miss his presence. I know that we're kind of replacing him with Ashawn Robinson, who you guys know at least a little bit, so
We do.
he's trimmed down a little bit. I think he said he's down about 25 pounds coming into camp this year. So he looks a little bit quicker, a little bit more agile, as agile as a guy like Ashawn Robinson can be. But he'll be filling that role as Brockers was. It's a little bit of a tongue twister a little bit, but Brockers eats the blockers and allows other people to get those one-on-one blocks. So yeah, his presence, the Lions fans are, I think, going to be big fans of Brockers.
Okay. And one more final question for me. What about the leadership that Michael Brockers brought to the locker room there in LA? Because I know he's already felt that here in Detroit. He's already has that presence. Are you guys going to miss that? And who's going to step into that role now that he's in Detroit?
Yeah, Rams are absolutely going to miss that veteran presence from Brockers. He was absolutely one of the leaders. You can see videos from last season of, pregame, and he's the one, leading the huddle before the game and getting everybody hyped up. The Rams do have some players right now that can do that. Of course, we know Aaron Donald is one of the best in the NFL right now. A guy like Jalen Ramsey is pretty vocal, so he tends to get in there a little bit. But as a surprise guy that I would say would be second-year safety Jordan Fuller. He's really mild-mannered and really had that John Johnson kind of he's got those John Johnson vibes to him, just kind of a calm guy who just does his job really well. But he's vocal enough that I think that he will develop into that leader. And it also looks like he's going to get the green dot this year. So, yeah, he's going to be a big one for the Rams defense this year.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today here on Detroit Lions and the Prowl. My man, Sheriff Joe Baggs, a.k.a. Mr. Joe Branham of Ram Showcase. Thanks for helping in today, and we'll talk to you soon, Joe.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Really love to see the other side of it from the LA Rams perspective. Sheriff Joe Baggs holding it down over there on Rams Showcase. We really appreciate him joining us. But now we're going to go into a different topic. And Curt, what do you got for me?
All right, so there's some loose details coming out with this deal that the Lions offered Calvin Johnson to kind of pay him back his money, but it was kind of like over 3 years, like 1.65 million. Oh, he only has to work 25 hours a year for the Lions to get this money back. Um, I did not particularly like this deal where you took the money from him from a bonus. Um, and okay, you had the right to do that, but the guy earned so much more money for their franchise than what you took back from him. He was the face of the league. He was the only reason people were watching Detroit Lions games, going to the Detroit Lions games, is because they can go and get a glimpse of Calvin Johnson. So, guy had a Hall of Fame career on a losing team, but I don't really know. There's another thing I don't like about this deal. And the leak, or what we would kind of discuss, the leak or the release of the information where you can get people against Calvin Johnson right before he gets enshrined into the Hall of Fame. It gets dropped, and I've already heard, oh, he just took the money. Oh, not he's just being petty. Well, the Lions are being petty as well. This came from nowhere else from the Detroit Lions. They released this information about this deal that they offered Calvin Johnson. Dave Burkett reported on it, and a few other people. And I'm like, well, why would this information need to come out right now? It's his Hall of Fame enshrinement weekend. He's going into the hall tonight, or tomorrow night. Excuse me, last night. This being a Monday show. Monday night, he went into the Hall of Fame. Sunday night, went to the Hall of Fame, and you're gonna release this information now. It makes absolutely no sense for that information to come out during his enshrinement weekend.
Yeah, we are recording this in several stages.
Yeah,
Just to let you know, I didn't like it either. I'm gonna be honest. To the fan base that says that he was not owed that money because of the fact that he didn't earn it, because he quit on us early. There's some validity to that. I'm not going to say that you're wrong, but given the intrinsic value of the person overall to your franchise, Hall of Fame career, been on the face of Madden, probably sold more jerseys. He sold quite a few jerseys, I would imagine, and just putting butts in the seats just to see Calvin Johnson. I hate to say this, but I think he did bring more to the team than that. There was reasons behind him retiring. He wanted out of Detroit. He wanted a chance to win. And I think that's everybody's right. They go ahead and trade Matthew Stafford, but they won't trade. They didn't trade him. And there's just so many things petty going back and forth. I think the Lions offer was a slap in the face because he didn't recoup his money for 3 years. And it's almost like a work contract instead of, hey, you know what? Here's your money back. Can you please come and be an ambassador for us? Let's mend the fences. And this is our first olive branch forward. Here's that money back. We're sorry. We're a new regime. This is all new. And we'd really love you to come back and be in the fold. I think that would have been a better thing than saying, hey, here's a contract and you get paid $500,000 a year or whatever it was for 3 years. And then you finally get your money back. I don't know. It felt wrong to me, even though they were trying to mend the fence. It still felt wrong.
Yeah, and it's just, and I don't know what legality they have. If it's something that they have to do with the league just because of that. But him being a retired player, I'm not sure how it works like that. So I don't know if they're kind of handcuffed and they have to kind of do a deal like that. But even so, even if you would have offered him the $1 million for the first year and then, maybe a 500 the next 2 years or something like that, or even the deal was just kind of felt wrong. But the timing of the leak of the information is just, for me, that struck me kind of wrong because of the fact that it's his Hall of Fame enshrinement weekend, and you get another part of the fan base who has been dogging him since, and for a while. But, and I've said this before, the Lions organization doesn't have to, they can answer questions or leak information about the situation at their leisure. They don't have press conference about Calvin Johnson. They don't have interviews in the media about Calvin Johnson. But every time Calvin Johnson gets interviewed, what's the first thing they ask him? What's going on with your situation with the Lions? He's gonna say what he has to say because he feels the way he feels. But no one's going up to Rod Wood to his office or on the street or asking him about Calvin Johnson. It's in a controlled environment, or somebody can ask him, saying, okay, hey, we have a media session right now. Are you going to ask any questions? Well, no, I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm not going to talk to the media. Or Sheila Ford Hamp, they're not going to talk to her about Calvin Johnson because she controls the narrative when when they have questions or, and they have media sessions with those individuals. Brad, to Brad Holmes' credit, he wasn't there. He wasn't involved in the situation with Calvin Johnson. Rod Wood and Sheila Ford Hamp, and then Martha Stone Ford was involved with that Calvin Johnson situation, along with the those individuals. So those people were involved, but they control when they talk to the media. You know what I'm saying? When Calvin Johnson does a media blitz, I don't care what he's in. He could be talking about primitive with Rob Sims, but what's the first thing the guys are going to ask him? They're going to ask him about what's going on with the Lions. And it's all coming from one standpoint where it's always just get to ask about the public figure, which is Calvin Johnson. He's a public figure. Those guys in the front offices, they're not really public figures. Yes, people know who they are because they work for the Lions, but they're not the face or the public figure for the Lions. And Calvin Johnson is a public figure, and he's going to get asked about this over and over and over and over until the situation is resolved. And you're always going to just hear his narrative about the situation. And I just hate that information was leaked right before he goes and puts his gold jacket on, and the cat in his bus is revealed tonight, Sunday night, as we're recording this. I just hate that timing, and to me, it shows whatever level of pettiness is that Calvin Johnson has, the Lions organization has it as well.
Yep, totally agree with that. Now we get to go to what you said on a combination of Free for All Friday stuff and last Wednesday's show. Mark Oram from Oram's Forum, man. Well, he has some great content. If you haven't checked him out, you should. And we got to say to his 9-year-old daughter, we said, happy birthday on Friday. It was amazing. Stafford got let down by the organization. Stafford did his thing with his weapons. Too bad he doesn't run the ball and play defense. Yeah, buddy, for sure. The fans that blame him need to learn the game. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. This fan base expected Stafford to be Superman. Yeah, absolutely. This is not reality. One great defense and one good running game in 12 years under Stafford. LOL. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just people, no excuses for Stafford. No excuses for Stafford. Okay, fine. You got what you wanted. He's gone. You Stafford hater people. He's gone. Yep. That's cool. The guy had flaws. I totally agree. He's not, like an Elway or Marino or somebody like that, but he's a damn good quarterback. Mm-hmm. And for me, if you say no excuses for him, there's no excuses for your guy either. So better win a Super Bowl and no excuses.
Definitely. All right. Daniel Blackburn says, great show, guys. Couldn't make the live stream, so I'll watch the show later in the day. Jim, I see that you and Val bumped into Dose of Dion at practice. That was pretty cool. All right. Feel for you guys that it was only a walkthrough after such a long drive. It is pretty long drive from Western Michigan to Detroit. I could hardly wait for our first preseason game next week. So pumped. I think we are too, to see them against another team.
We're very pumped. And public service announcement. No one was injured when we bumped into Dose Dion. Everything's good. So I just wanted to let you know. Jeremy Ballrick says out of the 25 pick sixes in Stafford's career, he had 7 in the fourth quarter. Only 3 of these with 2 minutes on the clock. Also, he only had 6 fumbles in the fourth quarter total, which some of that has to be on the O-line deficiencies that the Lions had. Yeah, I agree with that. Also, Stafford didn't have to come back all the time if we weren't behind. So that was another thing I said about that.
Okay. All right. Be ready. Athletics K Zoom Ninja says, love you guys. Love the show. If you are so excited to see this team play, just imagine how pumped those players are. Let's go Lions.
They are pumped. I'm pumped. Preseason's coming, guys. This is moving really, really fast right now. We had that slow time, but now, can't wait. XL ball in X. I have no idea. 313. We butcher names here. That's what we do. I can't wait to watch the Lions practice live Saturday. I went down. I watched the Lions practice too. Love to get your feedback in the comments below on what you saw. I'm going to be giving those tomorrow on Tuesday's show. Today
Mhm.
we have that wonderful interview with Sheriff Joe Bagg. So we're going to move that till tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Ravila says, very good that you will be at camp tomorrow, Jim. I'm looking forward to your eyes on reporting. Instead of struggling with my last name, you can just call me the UP Lions fan.
There we
Okay.
go.
All right. Since I do live in the UPA, yeah, too many Packer fans up here. Love the show, guys. Yeah, that is correct. That is considered Packers territory in the UP.
It
They don't
is.
even show the Lions most of the time. They don't show Lions games up in UP. They show Packers games.
Yeah, and
So
just so you know, when you watch our show, you just put your thinking toque on, you'll be fine.
there you go.
Yeah, he's gonna know what that means, I
Yeah,
swear.
yeah.
Let's go to the Wall of Fame real quick. Do that first. We'll get that out of the way, and then we'll go to the Dessert with Curt, so you have your time to get to be able to get some things, out there to the people. So who's on
Okay.
the Wall of Fame today, Curt?
All right. So we have our bronze members. We have Detroit Drew, Midwest Lion, Bubba Bo, John Kapler, Art Allen, Jimbo G. What up, Jimbo? David
Jimbo
Anderson,
G.
Crystal Wiley, Sage Surratt Roberts, the Latino Lion, Brian Stover, Bo Gagrius, and you know the beer man himself, Justin Tinkate. You know how we do
David
it. That's
Anderson,
Cervation.
brand new member. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for joining. Silver members, we have Nomus J, Jason Portis, Cap Ice Cold, Batman of the 313, John Martin, and we know we got that F5, baby. The Tornado is the closing out the silver members. Our gold members, we have Michael Huck, Just in the D, Larry McQuiston, Turner C. Burley, Dominic Davis, Barb Corso, Pride 74, Matthew Ferguson. What up, Matthew? Randall Flag 606, Miles Gibbs, Randy Prince through Good Iron Blitz. The big fella, North End Ken, is always holding it down. And you know that Dr. Detroit is always in.
And I
To
still have
become
an
a
X by your name.
member of the Wall of Fame, just click the Join Now button in the description or the Lions on the Prowl logo at the bottom of the screen.
Oh man, I still got the X by your name, man. I swear to God, I'm gonna fix that sooner or later. I was up in Detroit, didn't have a chance to mess with it. I didn't notice it this morning. I'm doing great. I'm batting 1,000, man. I swear to God. So anyway, I am gonna bring in Curt Steele for my favorite part of the show right now, the Dessert with Curt, brought to you by Delightful Bites.
Hey, Delightful Bites, custom desserts for all your occasions, cookies, dip, uh, dip pretzels, dip fruit, all those
Mm,
things. If you like
yum.
the way they look, you'll love the way they taste. Delightful Bites, get your cookie on. Now, it has to be one thing for the Dessert with Curt to start the week out. Congratulations to one Calvin Johnson Jr. for being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You were a staple of the Detroit community. You're still here, having your primitive brand out there in Detroit, but for your career to be acknowledged as one of the greatest players to ever play the game and be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and to your credit, on a franchise that lost probably 85% of the time you were in Detroit is a great achievement. You did wonderful in Detroit. You played hurt. You did everything you need to do as a player on the field. And congratulations to you, Mr. Calvin Johnson, for being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend.
My final thoughts for today are some of the people that I kind of ran into in the thing. It was on Thursday. There's a wonderful lady named Kathleen who brought us in, and she was really really cool to us. And Marcia, right by her side, doing her thing too. Just incredible people up there. The staff was absolutely amazing. So as I'm walking around with Dosa Dion on because he sat by us for a while on that Thursday show, there was a guy that kind of said, "Hey, I watch you guys' show." I'm like, "Oh, really? Okay, cool." So we talked for a while. His name is Josh, and he serves in the military in Arizona. Got to come out to Detroit, and he's just a really cool guy. And I had to shout him out. Thank you for your service in the Marines out there in Arizona, and we appreciate you listening to the show. Thank you very much. What's your final thoughts today, Curt?
Hey, thank you to Josh again. We appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Simplify to you, Marine, as being a military, the member of the Army, you know what I'm saying? I always had respect for Marines, so you guys are definitely top notch. So thank you again for watching the program. My final thoughts are congratulations again to Calvin Johnson for his Hall of Fame and enshrinement. I'm looking forward to next weekend. We know we're less than a week away until Lions preseason. Wow, it is going to be here really quick, and I'm just excited to see that. And and it's just so good to do the show and you know that football is actually here. So definitely it's going to pick up really fast. We had a slow month of July where everything was just a little bit slow, but now we're in August and it's picking up really, really fast. So football is just around the corner, people, and buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a decent season. We're going to have some fun. And I think that Dan Campbell is going to bring a winner here eventually to the Motor City. Definitely going to do that. All right. Hey, you know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And one more shout out to my man, Sheriff Joe Baggs. Thank you for joining the show, man. We really appreciate you holding it down with us for the interview, talking about what's going on over there with the Rams, and Matthew Stafford, and then some of the stuff we got going on here with some former Rams. So thanks again to Joe. Hey, if you want to get yourself some Detroit Lions on the Prowl gear and join Prowl Nation, go over to DetroitLionsOnTheProwl.com and click the Lions on the Prowl shop link right there and get yourself some good Lions on the Prowl gear with Prowl Nation. We got some good stuff going on over there. So be a part of Prowl Nation and just get yourself some gear. We appreciate that. Definitely, if you want to get yourself some Lions gear, like I got on the brand new 2021 Lions sideline cap. This is the road version. You can go over to fanatics.com. The link is in the description. A portion of the proceeds from that link go to help us grow this content as well. And you can check us out on bellyupsports.com. Football is heating up. They got a great fantasy department over there. So if you want to get some fantasy news and what you need to do with your fantasy rosters, go over and check out that guys over there at bellyupsports.com for all your fantasy football needs. And it's great to start the week out with you guys. It's one of those things where you start your week off right. We got you going, get your Kool-Aid in for the week, and we got more content coming. We're gonna, as the practices heat up, stay with us. We're gonna put some good information out for you on what's going on with the Detroit Lions. As always, you know how we got to do for our Lions, baby. We gotta hold it down, and you know what you got to do. Clean your desk off. You know what I'm saying? Wipe off your mouth, finish your pop, and get back to work. And whatever you do in life, you know what you got to do. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you could be. From my man, Jim, this is Curt Steele, and I will holler at you real soon.